All right, again, and I'm buying that. The Iranian parliament also buying this morning the nuclear deal that has been passed by world powers. Still not formally accepted in official law yet, but this morning parliament giving its stamp of approval on that nuclear agreement. The lawmakers passing that bill by a vote of 161 to 56, 13 abstentions in that vote. Now, the accord that was reached in July in Vienna calls for international sanctions on Iran to be lifted. Now, in return, restrictions will be placed on its nuclear program, aiming to prevent developments of the atomic bomb out of that country. Now, the 12-member Guardian Council in Iran could still send the bill back to Parliament for reconsideration, although it has already said that it will stand by any votes that Parliament gives it. So again, Parliament giving it a thumbs up, passing that bill this morning, still waiting the official word for that to go into law, but it all looks like all systems go from here. Guys. Some breaking news this morning coming out of the Middle East, a pair of developing stories that we're following. 2 deadly attacks in Jerusalem this morning, leaving several dead, upwards of at least 24 now, others injured. The way this has played out this morning, 2 men stabbed and shot people on a bus in a city neighborhood, killing a man thought to be around 60. Now, one of the Palestinian attackers was then killed, the other wounded and is now in custody. And almost simultaneously, a Palestinian driver then drove his car right into a bus stop in Jerusalem, got out of the vehicle, started stabbing pedestrians, killing 2 and wounding others. That attacker also shot and killed. Now, since the Jewish New Year last month, 7 Israelis have been killed, dozens have been wounded. Of those wounded this morning, at least 6 are in critical condition this morning. So again, the death toll this morning, 3 citizens killed, 2 assailants killed, as well as we continue to follow the developments coming out of the Middle East, guys. And back in the LiveAlert Center, keeping an eye out on a report that is due later today on the downing of that Malaysian airliner MH17 when it was taken down over eastern Ukraine. Now, this morning, there's already contradictions to that report, even though it hasn't come out, and those contradictions being made by a Russian missile maker. This morning, again, that Russian missile maker saying that a Dutch-led investigation that will show that the missile fired by the Russian troops was in fact a Russian-made missile that brought down the airlines. The missile maker saying that could be false. He said that while including firing missiles at a decommissioned airliner during testing, the missile used could have been older than the one that they believe brought that airliner down. And if that were the case, it wasn't used by the Russian military because they decommissioned those missiles years ago. Now, the Dutch report again is expected at some point today on the downing of that flight over eastern Ukraine, guys.